Okay, so today we're tackling something that I think everyone listening can relate to. Software that just doesn't want to play nice together. You've got your favorite platforms, right? But getting them to actually talk to each other, that's today's mission. We're diving into the world of Oracle CPQ. That's configure, price, quote, and the CRM Titan itself, Microsoft Dynamics 365. Now, don't check out if you're not a tech person. Whether you're about to jump into an integration project, are curious about what's possible, or just get excited about seamless data, like me, Gudney. This deep dive is for you.
That's right. It's a lot more common than you might think. And it's not just about the technology, it's about getting rid of those everyday frustrations. So picture this. Sales is humming along in Dynamics, a hot lead pops up, and boom, instead of scrambling to re-enter everything into this whole other CPQ system, it just flows. One click and you're generating quotes, configured, priced, ready to go.
Okay, that's the dream, right? But with every magic trick, there's always a bit of setup behind the scenes. And this guide that we're looking at, while super helpful, can feel a little like reading a spell book sometimes, especially when it comes to this whole authentication piece.
Authentication, the gatekeeper. It's really more than just a tech hurdle, though. It's about establishing trust between your systems, making sure that only the right people see the right information. The guide mentions Azure Active Directory and app registrations, which are important because they're the foundation for secure data exchange. You wouldn't want just anyone walking into your system and grabbing sensitive customer data or pricing info, right?
Definitely not. Data breaches are no joke. So how do these app registrations actually work? I see the guide mentioning things like client secrets and identity provider URIs, and I'm not going to lie, those sound a little intimidating.
They sound a bit complicated, yeah, but they're actually pretty cool in how they work. It's kind of like setting up a system of secure careers between your systems. The client secret is like this special key, a digital handshake that confirms the identity of each system. And the URI is like an address on an envelope, ensuring that everything goes to the right place.
So it's all about verifying identities and making sure the data is flowing correctly, but in a way that is actually secure. What I find interesting is that you actually bring in Oracle support during this process. It's not just something you configure yourself, and that's it.
Yeah, you're right. It's a team effort. You provide them with the necessary information, and they essentially enable the secure connection on their end. This makes sure that everything is set up right, minimizing the chance of any security risks. It's a small step, but it makes a huge difference.
Right? Like a small detail that prevents a lot of headaches down the road. So we've got the secure connection, but what about the actual users? Do we just dump everyone from Dynamics into CPQ and cross our fingers?
That's where things get a bit more, well, strategic. It's called integration user pairing, and it's about making sure the right people have access to the right information in both systems. Let's say John from sales needs to create a quote. He's already in Dynamics, has the customer info up. We don't want him jumping through hoops to use CPQ.
Right, it defeats the purpose of this whole seamless integration.
Exactly. We linked John's Dynamics account with his CPQ account, one and done. It's all about making it super easy to use. And there's something interesting that happens behind the scenes. The first time John opens CPQ after being paired, there's a first-time token generation.
Ooh, tokens. It's like we're getting into the VIP section of this whole integration thing. What's the significance of that?
Think of it as an extra layer of security. This ensures that it's really John accessing the data and not someone pretending to be him. It's like a digital badge that grants him access to what he needs. It happens automatically in the background, but is a crucial step in protecting data and maintaining user trust.
So we've built a secure connection. We've got our users all set. Feels like it's time to actually get the data moving, right?
It is. It's where the magic happens, but also where things can get a little tricky if we aren't careful. Data synchronization. That's the key, that back and forth between Dynamics and CPQ.
Okay, walk me through it. The guide mentions callout settings and all these mapping tables for accounts imports. Feels like we're laying down the rules of the road for our data.
Perfect way to put it. Those settings are like the rule book. They tell you what data goes where. Let's say in Dynamics, you have a field for customer industry, important for tailoring those quotes. You map that to the same field in CPQ, so when your sales rep is looking at a customer, boom, the industry info is right there.
No more manual entry, no more copy-paste errors.
Yeah.
I'm already seeing the time saved.
Exactly, and fewer mistakes. Imagine a pricing error because the wrong discount was applied, or products not configured right because the systems weren't talking. These mappings, they're the unsung heroes.
So where do people trip up most often with these mappings? What should we be watching out for?
The biggest thing, not thinking through every possibility. Let's say you map the account name from Dynamics to CPQ. Seems simple enough. But what if someone changes an account name in Dynamics? Does that change carry over, or do you end up with duplicates? You have to think about those edge cases.
So it's not just about setting it and forgetting it. You have to maintain those mappings as things change.
Absolutely. And that's where good documentation comes in and communication. Regularly review and update your mappings as your business changes. It'll save a lot of headaches later.
Makes sense. Now, we talked about syncing customer data, but what about products themselves? Can't have a quote without the stuff to sell.
Exactly. That's part sync, like taking inventory but across two warehouses. The guide mainly talks about doing this manually, which, as you can imagine, can be a bit of a pain.
Especially with huge product catalogs. I'm getting tired just thinking about it.
You're telling me. But this is also where it gets really cool, because if you can imagine that manual process, you can imagine automating it.
Now you're talking my language. Automation? Tell me more.
Imagine bulk uploads, scripts that take those product catalogs and just integrate them seamlessly. It's not even just time saving, it's about eliminating human error, making sure your product data is always accurate.
It sounds like automation is key for anyone who's serious about making this integration work for them long term.
Right.
But even with the manual stuff, the guide mentions some cool possibilities.
Oh, yeah, definitely. One that caught my eye was URL data functions. It's like a direct line between your systems.
Ooh, I love a good shortcut, especially when it comes to data. What kind of communication are we talking about?
Think of it this way. You need really specific, up-to-the-minute info from Dynamics while someone's working on a quote in CPQ. These functions let you get that info directly. No more clunky back and forth.
So it's about flexibility, making things even smoother than the standard mappings. It feels like this guide gives you a great starting point, but also encourages you to get creative, find what works for your setup.
Exactly. That's what makes this so interesting. Every business is different. This guide is the launch pad, but customizing it to your workflows, your data, that's how a good integration becomes great.
Like you've got the basic house built, now you can add your personal touches, maybe a fancy kitchen island, a deck for your morning coffee.
Ah, okay. I'm getting carried away with the analogy again.
It may be a little, but I get it. It's about realizing this guide isn't one size fits all. It's where you begin. Right, the starting line.
Yeah.
So let's say we've followed all the steps, everything's configured, data's flowing like a perfectly choreographed dance. What's next?
The million-dollar question. It's not enough to just DO the integration. We have to measure its impact, see if it's actually working.
Right, high fives are great, but we want to see results. How do we know if this is actually making a difference for our business?
And that's where we move from the technical side to the strategy. What does success look like for you? Shorter sales cycles, less errors,
Yeah.
better data. Those are the metrics that tell the real story.
It's like we're giving the integration itself KPIs, right?
Exactly.
We did it. We integrated CPQ and Dynamics success, but hold on, what were we actually trying to achieve here? Faster sales cycles, getting rid of those annoying errors? Did we actually hit those targets? I love that you're bringing this up because it's so easy to overlook.
It's so important. You wouldn't invest in anything else without tracking how it's doing, right? This is no different. If you set clear goals from the start and watch your progress, you can tweak things, figure out what's working and what's not, and really show everyone the value it brings.
And that makes everyone happy, especially the higher-ups. Numbers don't lie. They show you the good and the bad. Speaking of good, this guide, even though we've barely scratched the surface, I already feel like I can do this.
That's the goal. That's what we want to give you the confidence to connect these platforms and unlock all the amazing things they can do together.
Okay, before we wrap up, any final words of wisdom for our listeners who are about to go on this CPQ Dynamics journey themselves?
Write everything down. Seriously, this guide. Read it again and again. Highlight, take notes, whatever works for you. And don't be afraid to reach out to Oracle support. Remember that service request we talked about? They're there to help.
It's like having a safety net when you're trying to navigate the world of software integration, which can be tricky.
Exactly. And remember, this isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process. Technology is always changing. Your business is always changing. Stay curious, try new things, and you'll find ways to keep improving your processes and making sure that data keeps flowing.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired. Ready to build some data bridges and synchronize everything.
That's the spirit. And hey, when all that integration work starts showing real results, you know where to find us for a virtual high five.
Absolutely. But for now, we've reached the end of our deep dive. We've explored how to connect Oracle CPQ and Microsoft Dynamics 365, uncovered some of those hidden challenges, and even talked about the possibilities of automation and customization.
We've broken down authentication, tackled data synchronization, and even dipped our toes into the world of parts synchronization.
But most importantly, We've shown that this isn't just about tech skills, it's about making a real difference for your business. So it's your turn. Go out there, integrate, and remember what we said about measuring those results. Until next time on The Deep Dive, happy integrating.